Hi. I have our special guest Finian with us today, and he is going to help us with a cognitive assessment. So I'm going to test Finian's cognition and perception, and we will go through calculability, proverb interpretation, and then memory, immediate recall, and short-term recall. And I think that's about it. So we're going to start with calculability. And before I do calculability, because I know the tests I want to do, I am going to start Finian on immediate recall. So I will say, hi Finian, my name is Jane. I'm a physical therapist. I have a few questions to ask you. Is it okay if I ask you some questions? All right. Before I ask you questions, I have a little job I want you to do. I want you to remember 3 words. Okay. The words are banana, car, and table. Can you repeat those words?
Banana, car, table.
Banana, car, table. So he has immediate recall. Banana, car, table. All right. So now I want you to do something else. I have a bunch of coins here in front of you. Would you please count how many coins there are?
Mm-hmm.
Just not their value, just how many. Okay. Can you count out loud for me?
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
21 coins. Okay. So this time I want you to tell me if you have this many and this many. So tell me how many on this side.
4.
And how many on this side?
2.
How many total?
6.
6. Okay, so you have 6 coins. All right. So can you add together? So how much is each one of these coins worth?
25 cents.
25 cents. So add all the value together. How much total do you have?
$1.50.
$1.50. So Finian has passed the basic calculability cognition test because he's able to add. He knows different values. I could continue if I wanted to. I could ask him to separate the coins into values that are equal or separate them from high to low value, from low to high value, just to practice sequencing if I thought that was important. Okay, so we're done with the coins. All right. While I read through this, can you tell me what those three words were?
Banana, car, table.
Banana, car, table. So it has been over 2 minutes since his immediate recall. So he still has immediate recall, but I can ask him again at the end of the cognitive exam. And then I can ask him again tomorrow if he's a patient that I see tomorrow too. And I can see if he has short-term recall or just immediate recall. So I can use those same 3 words. And just so you know, if you see a bunch of patients in one day, you may want to write down the 3 words you tell your patient to remember because you may not have the short-term recall to remember exactly what words you told your patient to remember, unless you always use the same words. All right. So the next one, so we've already done calculability and we've done memory and attention, right? So he was able to attend, if you were paying attention, he was able to attend to all the tasks that I had. So far, he has been able to complete 1-step commands, so I'm also assessing that. So what you have seen is, can he attend to the task? So his attention or selective attention for these tasks is good. He is following 1-step commands, right? And he has calculability. So far, he's doing pretty well. All right, the other things that we'll look at now would be, can he follow 2-step commands? Can he follow 3-step commands? The more commands somebody can follow, that means the better their retention and the better their perception of the environment and the higher their cognition. So here's what we're going to say. Finian, I want you to take this piece of paper.
Okay.
I want you to fold it in half. I want you to draw a clock on half of it. Unfold it and hand it back to me.
Okay.
So Finian followed 2 out of 3 steps of the command, right? So he had 3 steps. The first one was fold the paper. The second one was draw a clock. And the third one was, actually there's 4 steps. Unfold the paper and hand it back to me. So he got the first 2, but then the last 2 were lost on him, right? So
but I handed it back to you.
You did hand it back to me. So he got 3 of the 4. Anyway. All right, so there's also, I layered a couple of tasks on this. So I can also check his perception by seeing how he drew the clock. So it's light, but if you look at his clock, you can see that it's round and that the numbers are relatively evenly spaced, and 12 is at the top and 6 is almost at the bottom, right? So perception-wise, he knows what a clock looks like. So this is, remember, top down, bottom up. This would be bottom up perception. He doesn't have a clock in front of him to look at. So this is all what's in his head. So he has the concept in his head, and he was able to make that happen.
It's like
so
a potato.
It looks like a potato clock, Finn says. Anyway, so that's that bottom up processing. So we know that his perception is okay. But if he drew a clock that looked like
Wait, what?
like this,
That's a good circle, though.
then his perception is impaired, or he's got maybe a neglect, right? So the left side of the clock, if you look, if I draw a line down the center, you can see that all the numbers on that clock are on one side. So maybe there's a neglect, which is also a perception issue. So there would be some further assessments needed to make sure that that's what is happening, or if that's not what's happening. So that's how the clock drawing helps with perception. All right. The other thing that we got to see was his fine motor skills with his dominant hand. So if he had had a stroke or a traumatic brain injury and he could not control or grade the muscle contraction on his left hand, then the letters or the numbers that he was writing wouldn't look as good as they look now, although there's some questions about his handwriting. So that's really it for cognition and perception in terms of an assessment. And, oh, no, we didn't do proverb interpretation. So you can add that to your cognitive assessment lab, proverb interpretation, right? So this is also about conceptualization. So I could ask Finian, all right, Finian, what does it mean when I say every cloud has a silver lining? What does that mean?
I don't really know because I've never heard that phrase before.
You've never heard that phrase before. All right, how about, oh, Eliza can do it. Eliza's standing off to the side. So Eliza, what does it mean? You have to speak loud enough for this. What does it mean when I say every cloud has a silver lining?
I think it means that there's something, it makes it softer. Like you could say, it's like there's something bad, but then it covers a little bit of good to cover the impact of the bad.
Right. So for everything that might feel negative, there's always something good about it, is what she's saying. So she is cognitively intact and has proverb interpretation. All right. So that's how that works. And you can use any proverb. It just really should be some kind of common cliche proverb so that you can anticipate that they might have heard it. So another one is to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So what does that mean? Liza knows the answer to that too.
So that sometimes you can do, like if you have 2 tasks, you can do it one way. You can do it with one.
Yeah.
Like.
So you can do it at the same time and take care of it with one job.
I do that all the time.
So I killed 2 birds with 1 stone when I started with the memory thing, had him count, and then went back to the memory thing. So what I did was build it into the assessment to be more efficient. So that's what that means. All right. So thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, remember to write them down, and we'll cover those on campus, in lab, or during a live recording. Thank you, Finian. Thank you, Eliza. Everybody have a good day.